What's up, everybody in the rest community? Thank y'all for tuning in for this episode. But before we dive into episode 65, we would like to send our warmest and sincerest and deepest condolences to the family and friends of Jay Briscoe, who recently just passed away.
Yeah, man. He meant a lot to the wrestling community. You can see wrestlers all over the internet, who worked with him in Ring of Honor and different promotions, talking so much about him. If you don't mind, just real quick, I had to say something about Jay Briscoe because I remember the first time I saw him in one-on-one match. He was against TJ Perkins, and I remember the match was dope. But at the end, he hit the J Driller. That's the first time I ever saw that move, and I thought that was the dopest thing I had ever seen. And I have been following Jay Briscoe, him and his brother Mark, but I've been following him ever since then, and he has yet to disappoint. It hurts my heart as a wrestling fan to see him and his beautiful children. He's always seemed like a strong father figure on social media, and of course towards the other wrestlers that he worked with. My heart goes out to him and his family, man.
Yes, condolences from the KTR family. Just recently got into the ROH Hall of Fame, not even a year ago. 38 years old, still a lot left in the tank. Great love for the wrestling business, and he gets a lot of love from the wrestling community, so rest in peace.
Man, we love you and we miss you.
Damn, y'all feel that?
A message to all you pseudo spitters. The sound is cool, but the trend I see is the truth is missing. I feel the flow is stupid. You claim that the music's different. I guess it's all opinion, depending on who was listening.
What's the word, y'all? It's KTR_podcast, hashtag KTR. We are KTR. We are back, and we in the building for episode 65 of Know the Ropes podcast. Yes, that's right. Episode 65. We here, we live, and we have a show for you today. But before we get into the show, I gotta check in with my brothers real quick. Big Harv and J-Bo himself. And my brothers, how are y'all feeling today?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of tired. Normally I'd be like, yeah, doing great, doing peachy. Yeah, not today. Tired as hell. What about you, Big Harv?
Yeah, man, I echo that sentiment. Pretty tired.
Yeah.
Well, we all tired, but we gotta wake up today because we got a show to give to the people of the wrestling community. But before we get into that show, before we dive into these topics, before we get into this episode, I need all y'all to do a simple favor for me, and that is to just be not take a sip of water or liquor, but I don't have that right now because we in a rush. But y'all do this for me real quick, and that is to follow us on all social media platforms: KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. No Roast Podcast, Facebook, YouTube. No Roast Podcast, all podcast platforms: Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast, Power, on everything. And don't forget to get that merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR podcast. Let's get into the show. And I saw that, J-Bo. You was drinking your water. You trying to make me feel just, but it's all right though. I'm good. I'm a professional at this, so we're gonna make it do what it do and work through the work and see where it go from there. Anyway, it's kind of cold. I ain't got no shirt on today, but it's all right though. Got the skin glowing, the tats showing, and all that. But before we dive into this episode real quick,
you just said he was pale.
Shut up. That was before we recorded. Now you talking about stuff off camera, but this is what's your problem, man.
What's the topic, man?
First topic of discussion. We got one of the big four premium live events coming up.
Yep.
The first one of the year, which really sets the tone for basically, obviously it's the beginning of the year, so it does set the tone for the rest of the year, but it sets the tone mainly for WrestleMania, which is going to be live in LA, baby. I can't wait. Being there, son. I ain't going to be at nothing just but the show. I'm barely going to make it there. I'm going to be at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I'm going to be on the beach, Santa Monica. I'm going to be downtown LA kicking it. May go see a Lakers game. But okay, that's besides point. All right, scratch that. Anyway, we talking about the Royal Rumble. You see back here.
Yes.
Royal Rumble season. This live out in San Antonio is going to be huge. It's going to be major. But to talk about Royal Rumble, we do this every year since we started the podcast. We do a review, try to see, who's going to win these Rumbles, who's going to win for the men, who's going to win for the women, and what do we expect to come? So the first question of the day about the Rumble that I have for the rest of the community and for my brothers, show some more enthusiasm, Big Harv. We talking about the Royal Rumble, baby. Who y'all think gonna win the men's Royal Rumble? Y'all, you
The
know,
men-
we go for two, so you get two options on it. So yeah.
Here, I'll give Harv a chance to smell the pheromones. With me, I know it has been an obvious pick, and it's either going to be, in my opinion, Seth Rollins or Cody. I don't see them doing a real shocker this year because I don't see anyone else that they're trying to build real quickly into the main event of WrestleMania, despite if they would win or lose. Especially how Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes ended off, even though they have already fought like 3 or 4 times. I see either one winning. I do not want to put The Rock in the category, mainly because he don't need the victory. Heck, there's still rumors if he's going to show up or not. But yes, for me, it's either going to be Cody or Seth Rollins. One of those two.
Big Horde.
I agree with those two choices. I also think a dark horse could be who doesn't need it at all.
I was saving that for the after. I was saying the wild card one for after. So save that answer. Thank you. Proceed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, J-Bo. I agree with your statements. I got nothing else.
Sorry.
Killed that. Yeah.
Okay,
those two make sense. I don't know. Rhodes, neither one of them really need it. I hate for established. Rhodes could use it because it would be another notch in his resume. He could use it more than I feel like Rollins could use it. But they're both so well established. All they need is a good story, and they get, a storyline, and they, it's a believable chance at them having a WrestleMania moment, regardless of winning the Rumble or not. So I would love to see somebody else, somebody fresh. But again, like J-Bo said, there's nobody fresh that they're going to build between now and Mania.
So with that, I agree with the Cody Rhodes one. That one makes the most sense and kind of like the obvious thing for something to come in, for a main event at WrestleMania. And my other one is not Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Unfortunately, is he gonna be the Royal Rumble? Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he did on Raw. Yeah, but it's not Seth Rollins. It's somebody else. It's that guy right there. Not that one, but yeah, there we go. That guy right there.
I can't see diddly squat of what.
It's Randy Orton. It's Randy Orton. Randy Orton is my other choice as the potential winner for the Royal Rumble. He's been out for almost a year. He's gonna make his comeback, and I can see it personally for me. I don't think it's a dark horse, but I can see him win the Royal Rumble. Besides being the Seth Rollins, because the way how the WWE's move right now is more so of somebody with with a surprise, not necessarily building a momentum, per se, like building somebody new like they did with Drew McIntyre. I don't see them doing anything like that. But yeah, those are my two options right there, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So with that being said, we have the obvious ideas in our heads, but it could also be a wild card winner out there. We never know. It could be somebody that we're like, oh my God, he made it to the Final Four. Oh shoot, he's in the 3. Oh, he's in the last 2. Oh, he wins. Mm-hmm. Who do y'all think this dark horse would be in the Royal Rumble match? Big Harv, let you start off since you had it.
Dominic Mysterio.
Yep, that did it. Yep. See, everything was going good till he spoke. And I was bringing up Rey Mysterio's son for some odd reason. I have no idea. Let's bring this camera back up. Okay, ask to start video. It should be coming up soon. But yeah, okay. Yeah. So was that your serious answer? Or
my serious answer was Randy Orton, you dick.
Good job. Dang, I like that. Yeah.
Because he's been out for so long, he doesn't need it. He doesn't deserve it. There's no point in Randy Orton taking a Royal Rumble victory and going to WrestleMania for a title shot. Makes no sense. Doesn't need to happen. But that is my wild horse champion, wild card, dark horse, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Fun fact: did you know Randy Orton did win his second Royal Rumble match? He won 2 so far, right? Yes,
I thought it was 2.
Okay,
I thought it was 2. Yeah, he won a second Royal Rumble match at San Antonio because I was there at that show. I remember it because then he went to WrestleMania to fight Bray Wyatt, yeah, for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, he undefeated against
months
Bray
after you
Wyatt.
won it.
He undefeated against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Remember that too as well. So yeah.
Wow.
Another fun fact. See, this popped up in my head. Yeah, shout out to Randy Orton. J-Bo, go ahead. Your turn.
I think my dark horse for this would actually be Sami Zayn. And the only reason why I pick him is because the storyline that I would prefer would be Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, you know, finally working things out and take the belts off of the tag team titles. That's what I would want. But if they're really going to go down to like a true underdog story, a rebuild career, however you want to view it, I can see Sami Zayn since they really invested into his character over time, especially in the bloodline. So I can see him being just a surprise, like, oh my God, that was Sami Zayn who won it. And then, I don't know, Kevin Owens helps him at WrestleMania. I know there's so many scenarios you can come with that, but Sami Zayn, so I pick.
That's good answer. Good answer. We got Randy Orton, we got Sami Zayn, and we're going to finish it off with me. And I am going to go with
Dominic Mysterio.
Never in life. Apparently Dominic, Rey Mysterio's son, might have his own WrestleMania match against his father, and that's just going to be sickening to me. Yeah. But anyway, I feel that my wild card will be Montez Ford.
Wow, that's extremely wild.
Wild card, man. If I saw that on FanDuel or DraftKings, I saw odds to him win the Royal Rumble, I will put 100 on him, and I bet you I'll get back 10 bands.
Oh my Dang.
Yes, Montez Ford. If it's like a surprise build, and that's like a instant build for somebody, and you know they all didn't have those rumors and talks for like the past year and a half about him breaking up the Street Profits or him going solo, and like for his time to come, you know, behind the scenes, Montez has been doing a lot of good individual work. I know alongside with his wife, you know, of course. And you know, obviously his wife is like, you know, in the spotlight and basically like the face of the women's division.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. And so you might make a power couple thing, you know. Men's side, women's side.
Due to the fact that they are
I'm not done yet.
Shop around, that they trying to shop the company around, I really think they're gonna go with somebody that's established.
Can I finish my thought process? May I finish? Thank you. Like I said, from a marketing standpoint, you know, it makes sense. You know, you got a couple Black excellence world champions on the show, and like it'll look good. You know, they gonna break it up, you know, as soon as possible because that's how WWE work. Probably by like WrestleMania Backlash, something like that, because they don't got respect for us. But outside of that, you know, I can see it happening. Because you see, I saw how they disrespected Kofi Kingston on SmackDown against Brock Lesnar. So it will happen, unfortunately. But for the time being, for something to look good, I can see it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. You got anything to say? Harv. Good. Like to hear it. Which I don't like to hear. Yeah. So on to the women's side. This is kind of a little nasty because the women's division is like highly questionable right now and a little dense with their star power, and I don't know what direction they're gonna go in. But J-Bo, we're gonna let you go first since you are the analytical person of us. Who do you think is going to win the women's Royal Rumble match?
The women's Royal Rumble match is always a shocker. There's barely a time where we can say, oh, this person, it'll make sense for them. The build could be right, any of that. Cinko, to your point, you're right. This year is honestly no different. The only female wrestler that I can think of that would even remotely make some type of sense would be Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is the only who's getting like legitimate regular TV time without a championship being involved that people actually talk about regularly, both inside and outside television. So it's still a toss-up, but if I were to pick anyone at this moment, it would probably be Rhea.
I'll go with Rhea or Bailey, I guess. I think Bailey's a good
You have no excitement about this.
has a shot at it. You know, just an established name. Again, I just feel like they're gonna really try to put the belt on people who are tried and true because they're trying to sell the company and they want to sell it in the best possible light to maximize what they get for it. So that's just my prediction.
Ooh. All right, let's see. I agree. I definitely agree with Rhea Ripley. I love that woman. I hope she wins. Yeah, so Rhea Ripley. And the other, I would say Charlotte, but she already got a title. So
Of course you was Charlotte. Of course you was Charlotte.
Charlotte's the GOAT. I mean, what else what you want me to say?
That last night, Charlotte Flair broke her arm, right femur, twisted her left knee, and got 7 concussions. And you would still think by the Rumble she will come back and win. I don't understand why you always pick Charlotte Flair.
Yep, Charlotte. Yeah, picking Charlotte. Yep. Other than that, oh shoot, is Becky in the match in Royal Rumble?
She more than likely she would be.
Okay, yeah, I'm pick Becky Lynch as my other person.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because the man thing, that was a big gimmick. So I could see another rematch between her and Bianca for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
What title? So yeah, that's my thing. Y'all got any dark horse for the women's division?
I actually have 2 dark horses, honestly.
One.
Dang. If there would be any dark horse that I would have to pick, then it would probably be Alexa Bliss. And that's mainly because they're trying to redo her Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail gimmick. And if they want any type of payoff that we'll care for, then I can see them using the Royal Rumble.
Cool. Harv.
I don't really have a wild horse. I guess Alexa Bliss would make sense if they're trying to rebuild. I don't really know what they're doing with Bray Wyatt right now. I haven't really been a fan of how they presented him since he came back. Really since his debut. So I don't really think or really care for what they're doing with Alexa Bliss that much. I'd say probably Becky would be my dark horse because she was so popular and she's kind of fallen off since the height of her popularity since she came back. So yeah, I go with Becky.
I'm going with Naomi.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, that's the darkest of bro.
Naomi. She's gonna make her return to WWE. Because I don't see her going to AEW or doing any New Japan Pro Wrestling. And she's been off the grid for a minute too, as well. So I feel like this is gonna be her return, and she's gonna get her right justice, and she is going to probably wrestle against Charlotte.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm picking Naomi.
Wow.
If I get this right, oh yeah, this is going all over social media.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a reach. I'm not gonna lie, that is definitely a reach. But you know,
I'm reaching.
I will be proud of you if she does. You know what? Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, we're gonna wait and see. We're just gonna wait and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. But yep, that's the thing for the Royal Rumble. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see this premium live event live in person, and I just can't wait to see the shock on everybody's face when Naomi wins. I'll be like, I told you so. But besides the point, we're gonna move on to the next topic at hand. Let's talk about the tag team titles. One of Harv's favorite titles next to the women's tag team titles. There are no more. But with that, wait, no, they're still there. I'm tripping. No, that was disrespectful. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about the twin. I did. Yes, the tag team titles, the unified tag team titles. It looks like the WWE is attempting to split the regime of the unified tag team titles and have it just being the Raw tag team title and SmackDown tag team titles. You see, the Usos are having separate tag team defenses against certain teams from certain brands, but for just a specific title and not the combination of the title, which I believe is just due and fit.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so, because it's needed, because we started to get more tag teams in the division, and the Usos have been doing a great job of holding these titles for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Time to give other people a chance. What y'all think?
In the beginning, when they beat Randy Orton and Matt Riddle.
Shut up.
It wasn't needed.
Sorry.
It's not needed at all. No disrespect to the Usos, because Usos are clearly one of my top 3 tag teams right now. It just was not needed. With them potentially separating the belts to go to each equal brand, which is eventually going to have to be a thing for the Universal WWE Championship as well. It's the right move, but just because you separate the belts does not mean that that's going to solve the overall problem, which means the tag team division still needs more focus. The tag team division needs better storylines. The tag team division needs more care. Now, separating the belts will give more teams opportunities, sure, but they have to be legitimate opportunities. They have to be legitimate, real opportunities that we'll actually care about. So yeah, good direction, just that's not going to be the end all be all.
Do not care about tag team wrestling enough, and they do not have a thick enough tag team roster for it to make sense to have 2 separate tag team divisions. Doesn't make sense.
You don't think the tag team division has grown?
No, absolutely not. Give me 8 tag teams, top of the head.
8? Okay. Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Usos, New Day.
Where are New Day?
I mean, they're on NXT, but I mean,
main roster's got to be people that's.
I mean, New Day is still main roster. They just hold the NXT tag team titles. That's it, because NXT ain't got really much going on. So then
I'll give it to you, but I don't count them. But I give it to you.
All right. Hit Row, Viking Raiders. We got Sheamus and McIntyre.
And don't forget Sam's favorite tag team duo of Dominic. And
we have Judgment Day. We have the OC. I'm at 9 now. It's probably another one I can't think about.
Now split that between 2 divisions.
Okay,
split that between 2 divisions.
Okay, it's 5 tag teams on each side, basically.
You think that's enough for 2 separate divisions?
I mean, there's more out there to think about. What's that? Legado del Fantasma.
There's not enough legitimate tag teams.
You got
for them to have 2.
You got Garza in them.
There's not enough legitimate tag teams for them to have 2 rosters.
It's enough. It's
I don't
enough.
think so. It's not legitimate tag teams, not tag teams.
It's legitimate. It's legitimate tag teams now. Besides McIntyre and Sheamus.
Not tag teams that will legitimately make you care about tag team wrestling.
Right.
The overall subject right now is the titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want tag teams that we know are going to be on the level of taking those titles and actually having enjoyable runs. If you only have 5 tag teams per division, it's just going to go in a circle. Everybody's not going to get the same amount of exposure as they need in order to build their tag team. I just don't feel like there is a deep enough tag team roster for them to have 2 separate rosters. That's just 3 technically because of NXT. That's my opinion. I mean, that's how I see it.
No, like going back to my original point, you're right. Like I feel, yes, the tag team division, yeah, it still needs a whole lot of care. Separating the belts, however, I feel it would be used. But going back to Harv's point, they do need legitimate tag teams. I feel that this is another opportunity, and I know it's opportunity after opportunity after opportunity for them to put focus into the tag team. Legado del Fantasma, we saw how great they were in NXT. It's possible,
good.
But right now it's not there. We saw the build of Hit Row, in NXT, but again, now
it has floundered on the main roster.
It has floundered, yes. So there is definitely potential there, but as of right now, we were to separate the tag team titles exactly as they are right now. Yes, there will be no focus on it. However, and I hate to say the word opportunity, but I don't know. I love tag team wrestling personally. It's not as entertaining as it used to be, but I love it and I want to see it flourish. So hey, go back to the separate rosters. Hell, you got 2 separate rosters anyway. Take advantage of that, 2 separate championships. You're right, 4 or 5 tag teams for each show. But goodness, they can put on a show that you can hold a storyline for a good 1 to 2 months if you actually focus on it, while other tag teams are still coming up, building, finding contention. Like it's there. The building blocks are there. You just have to use those building blocks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess I can see it from y'all standpoint. J-Bo broke it down a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like me and Hard just get argumentative. If I get defensive, that's all. I apologize. But yeah, but yeah, it makes sense. I guess because the lack of attention that the tag teams get in like how their progression within the division of like who's like important and like who can steal a show. Like you mainly think of the show stealers as the Usos and the New Day, pretty much.
Yeah.
With a little bit.
No, you named some legit tag teams in there. You did.
Yeah.
Some that I even forgot about. But then there's tag teams like, and even the OC, they're not a terrible tag team, but they aren't exciting. Nobody's looking at the OC.
Yeah.
Sheamus and McIntyre should both be in the upper mid card singles. They should not be a tag team. Like that's what I mean by who's gonna carry it going forward. You know what I'm saying? If the New Day is carrying and trying to revitalize NXT, which is a good idea, and they're trying to move away from the Usos at least a little bit, who else is gonna carry it? Street Profits. They could carry it.
Yeah.
Who else could carry it though? I like the Phantasma. That they cold. They can go.
Valdez Phantasma.
Yeah, they can go. So there are like J-Bo said, there's building blocks. I'm not trying to be completely pessimistic. I just don't think
Alpha Academy
there's
got a little
enough
bit in
right now for two separate divisions.
Yeah.
As of right now.
That's right.
I would love to see two separate divisions. I love tag team wrestling. They just don't have it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that. Yeah. Alpha Academy can go a little bit too, so I'll give them that as well.
Alpha Academy's cold. I wish that they would pull the trigger on them.
Yeah.
Look at how long they've been going, and they've gotten over. They've cooled off a little bit and then gotten over again.
They had the titles for a hot second, too.
A hot second.
Yeah.
They deserve it. I feel like if they gave them the ball, especially with Chad Gable has natural charisma. He corny, but he has natural charisma. And then they need to go ahead and let Otis do more. We saw what Otis could do when he had the beard. That tag team could really be something. But that's what I mean by they don't care enough. That tag team is really good.
People loved Otis automatically, and people have grown to love Chad Gable.
Otis could have had a small run with the world title, and people wouldn't have complained about it. That's how popular he was at the time. They wouldn't have complained about him having a little stint with the title.
Yeah.
That is right. He should have cashed this in. He should have cashed this in. Shout out to Otis.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that too, Jay. But I appreciate it. I still keeping the vibe. Yeah, you're right. I agree. So we're gonna see what the future holds for the tag team division. And let's see, it's not much really going on in the community for real. We got one more topic to dive in before diving into something else real quick. Something about Stephanie McMahon real quick, because that happened like literally like right before we dropped our last episode.
Yeah.
That she basically stepped away from WWE.
Yeah.
She stepped down from her position and she's just not in the business anymore. Kind of caught me off guard. And also ironically happened around the time when her father came back.
4 days later.
Literally. So with that being said, what do you think is going on behind the scenes with that situation?
Harv, you go first.
The conspiracy theorist in me sees Vince as the big bad villain who just saw that his daughter, she was really running everything. I think Khan had a piece of it too, but Stephanie knew the business like nobody else. Okay. Triple H, the things that he's been able to do, he's had a couple hiccups. We talked about that on a previous episode, but things he's been able to do in less than a year since they've taken over have been amazing. And I really feel like Vince saw that it could sustain without him. It could maintain. It could do what it needed to do. The wheel's gonna keep moving. What CM Punk said. He's just a spoken wheel. Vince is even just a spoken wheel. That's what you should want for a family company. You should feel like you're able to pass it on and be cool with that. But I feel that it's a petty move. I feel they were always trying to sell it, but the timing of it and the way it was done, I feel like she was ousted. I feel like he came back and really just took it from her. Is my opinion. I mean, looking at the history with Shane, even with Linda, that just seems more like how it happened.
Yeah.
I ain't call you.
I don't remember if I spoke on this the last episode myself, but it's I don't even want to call it conspiracy theory. Come on, the writing is on the wall. We know the history, like Harv said, of Shane McMahon. We know the history with Linda. Stephanie McMahon has been holding out because I believe her husband has been so strong inside the business. Like, she's gonna stick by him. And then she had a point where, her and her husband were just on top, doing great things, where the fans were invested. The fans were invested again into WWE. It wasn't just, oh man, here comes another show. What Vince messed up this time? What Vince tell the writers team this time? No, like, we were actually interested on what was going to happen the next week. Even if the show prior wasn't the best, we were still interested in what was going on. We all knew that when Vince, made the news that he was coming back to the board, that something was, oh man, he's going to come back. But come on now, Stephanie leaving just a few days later, that's a coincidence? Absolutely not. There are reasons why. She literally just took that position not even a full year ago. And she grew up knowing the business. She knew every single last thing that was. Then again, I'm not in her boots. I'm not in her office. I don't know what her world is like. But if I grew up in the business, every single last thing that is needed. And then you have somebody like Triple H, who was a wrestler in the business, who can also give you the ring side of things. And then all of a sudden, just so happened when your father, somebody who is known for having that power-hungry mentality, to come back in and say, yeah, I'm a part of the board. No, there's way more than we know of, and Stephanie knows. And she had to get out before it got worse. Then there was the rumor thing with Saudi Arabia that took place for like a day or so. And then there's still the thing about it being sold sooner than later. She wanted to get out while the getting out was honestly bad because I heard the situation was set up against her. And it's probably set up against Hunter too, but we have yet to see how that's going to turn out yet. I'm done.
It's crazy. I ain't got no words for it. It's just surprising for me, and I hope Vince don't take over his control of the show anymore.
It's his baby. He would rather die within office than to just let it comfortably be controlled by somebody who can run it continuously on. It is his company. It is his baby. He will go like what he said in that meme that I shared the other day. He said, if anyone's going to kill my creation, it's going to be me. Like, he is living that, man.
Yeah, he felt he meant that. He meant that when he said it then.
Yeah.
But he's showing it now. Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
that's crazy. Well, shoot, we're gonna see what happens with the future of WWE and the future of Vince McMahon and the McMahon family as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's crazy. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for the support, the love, everything. We appreciate it from KTR No Rules Podcast. But before we sign off, y'all gotta do this one simple favor for us, and that is to follow us on all social media platforms, KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. No Rules Podcast, Facebook, YouTube. No Rules Podcast, all podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We are on everything. And don't forget to get that merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR Podcast. This is episode 65. KTR, hashtag KTR No Rules Podcast. And we are out.
What should they do, Big Harv?
Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe.
Oh my
Punch
God.
them numbers, baby.
That don't compute in my mind, I must be out of mind. Black fist high, rally up before we out of time.